Hi, my name is Kevin Cassone. You're watching TV Amenia, a YouTube channel that covers all the things you're not going to see everywhere else. There's the official town YouTube page, Amenia TV, which I reference all the time, and I think you should also. Watch the videos. Every time I tell you something, I quote the meeting date and the time into the meeting, so you can verify everything I'm saying. I don't ask you to trust a single thing I say. I want you to check it yourself. And I tell you, this is, on such and such a date, somebody said this, now 2 months later they're saying they never said it, or they're saying exactly the opposite. That's what I want to expose. I'm sick of hypocrisy, and in many cases, just out and out, bald-faced lies. This one is more, not so much hypocrisy, but, well, it is, but it's not so much a bald-faced lie, it's just intolerance of wanting people to speak, of also not knowing about state law. This is an issue about an illegal resolution. I got up, some of you might know this, I had a problem with I've got well, and I'm on town water. Anyway, my position is I was illegally come after. Victoria Parati had Marco D'Antonio come and get me. I have his whole visit recorded, which he knew. I'm holding up my BlackBerry with a big microphone application. I'm basically holding it in his face like a TV reporter. I wasn't secretly recording him. And at the beginning of the recording, you hear me tell him I'm recording him. Anyway, there was this whole issue. I was never cross-connected. Town water supply was never put in jeopardy. But they acted as if it was. They just lied. I had two rants about this. I'll freely admit. Well, the first time I brought it up was, I say this all the time in case this is the first video of mine you're watching, but I have really bad vision, 2400 and 2800. So the first time I brought it up was January 9th, 2014. My public comment was from 29 minutes, 18 seconds in. That's where it starts. The next time I made a public comment, and this is the time, heated words were exchanged, and I'll freely admit I raised my voice, was 123, 2014. Because on Amenia TV, this is TV Amenia, on Amenia TV they do it by date. But be careful, if you're searching, sometimes Mike Flint has the date in numbers, like 1 dot, and he always uses dots like the Europeans do, 1:9:14. Other times, in this case, both of these, he uses the word January, space 9, comma, 2014. Using both ways of recording the date makes it really difficult to look things up. I don't know why he does it. Anyway, so I made those comments. I was mad as heck. This had been going on from September of 2013. They wanted me to turn my turn my water off and do plumbing work in the middle of the winter. I have a steam furnace. Basically, they wanted me to go without heat. And if anybody remembers, we had an exceptionally cold winter this last year. And I have a very old steam boiler. You turn it off and you start touching it, you never know if you're going to get it back together again. Anyway, that's not the point. In response to my basically yelling at Victoria and telling her, I was standing at the podium and I said, when somebody stands here, your bosses are coming to talk to you and you darn well better listen. She passed an illegal resolution. Now this meeting you have to watch, February 27th, 2014, from 2 minutes 39 seconds in to 10 minutes and 6 seconds in. She had the town lawyer, without running it by the whole board, she had the town lawyer expend money. By the way, I think as a taxpayer, I want that money back. It was an illegal resolution, which has the force of law. One, they say you must give your name, you must give your address, you must give your name, town, address. We never did address before. Out of courtesy, we said name and town. Address, what you can and can't say, which is unconstitutional, and then the 5-minute time limit. Well, this whole resolution is illegal. Had a lawyer done her job, had Victoria done, 5 minutes of research on the Department of State website for the state of New York, she would have found out this resolution is completely against state law. You cannot compel somebody to give their name, town, address. You're allowed under New York state law to go to any planning board, CBA, or town board meeting and make a comment anonymously. So we can't have a law that is directly contradictory to state law. The whole resolution is illegal. So you can't do that. Then it says you can't address a board member directly. You can't address people in the audience. You can't address Joe Blow who lives on XYZ road. Well, that's editing the content of my speech. And I would think an 8th grader, having gone to a civics class, would know the First Amendment says you cannot edit the contents of other people's speech. People throw the word censorship around, and usually they're wrong. There was an issue in the Middleton News recently, where Sharon Town Hall didn't want to put all of, what's her name, Diane Eaglekin, I might not be pronouncing that correctly, all of her pictures up. And they started screaming censorship. Well, that's not censorship. That might be a bad political decision by the council people or trustees, whatever they're called, of the town board of Sharon, but it's not censorship. Censorship would be if they passed a law saying the Middleton News could not publish the cartoons they didn't like. They can hang whatever they want on the walls of their own town hall. Censorship is when you say you can't say this, or because we're making it illegal. That's textbook definition censorship, which Victoria and what's our name? Oh, boy's name, Denise Fitzpatrick should know, but they wrote a resolution, and the little troika passed it. Victoria Parati and her friends Vicky Doyle and Stephen Parati. Basically, they voted to pass a resolution that is illegal under New York State law, which is illegal under the U.S. Constitution, and anybody with an 8th grade understanding of the First Amendment. I mean, I know you can't say fire in a theater, free speech is an absolute, but their law is absurdly ridiculous. And people who've been on the town board for years should do this, but they never do any research. They never look at town laws. And then finally, the only part that's legal is the 5-minute time limit. But unfortunately, since it's part of an overwhelming law that every other aspect is illegal, this law is illegal. So I don't think we should elect people who don't even understand what America's about, who don't understand free speech, who don't do their due diligence. I want Denise Fitzpatrick to pay the town of Amenia back for the hours she put in writing that stunningly illegal resolution, which she did just to kiss the posterior of her new boss. Lately, she did a water fee law where she did do research and found out whether it was constitutional or not. So I guess she's learning. But I want the dollars back for that. And it was wrong for Victoria on her own to task the lawyer to do that. She does it all the time. We have a supervisor in this town, not a mayor. And I'll explain in another video what the difference is. Thank you very much.